afternoon and welcome to my channel. I am Ezra the Scribe, and today I am continuing my series that I'm discussing about tools in the occult. And it can be in the occult as in ceremonial magic, to witchcraft, to Wicca, to even shamanism. And today's topic is part 2 of that series, and I'll be going over tools that are found in Wicca, witchcraft, and partial ceremonial magic. I'm going to continue on in our following series, but if you have interest in learning more, stay tuned. Okay, welcome back. And so today's topic is on tools in the occult and witchcraft and Wicca. And these were taught to me by one of my teachers, Cliona Nictavish. She was a wise, very wonderful woman, and very strong priestess in her craft. And she taught me a lot of these tools for use, and I'm excited to share them with you. So starting off, when we think of tools in Wicca and witchcraft, there's many reasons to have these tools. And as I've discussed in part 1, one of the main reasons is to focus intention. Focus the energy that you're raising and sending in a means. And then other tools are used for theatrics, to give visualization, to give aid to that. Other reasons are to create energetic doorways, or even have fire, the elements in your space. So some of those are things we're going to be talking about today. And I have them all listed underneath the camera. So I'm going to be showing these one by one. So the first one, when you think of magic, you think of, you walk in a room, there's this ambiance, there's incense, and there's, this energy that you feel. What is the first thing you see? A candle. So a candle is one of the main, is a tool used in the occult. This is a glass candle that's very useful if you're needing to leave the candle burning for a long period of time and want to be able to walk away, go to the restroom, do other stuff, even leave the house at times, because it's solid, it's glass, it's not going to fall over, it's not going to go anywhere. And usually it'll stay lit, because once it gets down to a certain point, it's protected from wind. So it's great for outdoors as well. So a candle, when you think of a candle, what is it? It lights up the room. It gives ambience to the room too, because we're so used to technology, electricity with lights. The candle, it gives that extra oomph of, well, it's not just that, it's the element of fire. So there's multiple purposes. You're bringing in fire energy, and you're bringing in light that is natural from candles. And then you can also use candles for spell crafting. And what do I mean by that? So whenever you craft a spell, which I'm going to do a video on that. So whenever you craft a spell, it's mainly putting your intention and energy out into the world to either manifest, change, or to give yourself opportunity to experience that intention that you're putting out there. And one of the ways to use a candle is putting that intention into the candle, putting that energy that you're putting into the candle, focusing it, and then in a very sacred way, saying some words to honor that intention, to make it vocal, to make it external, bring it out, light the flame, and that is one method of spellcraft, is candle magic. And there's other candles as well that are more, these you don't want to leave burning by themselves, just because the wax will start to drip, get everywhere, and it's possible to create a fire in your room. You don't want that to happen. So, and then other candles are like, if you want to do a spell that's very short, or for a rite or ritual, then you'll have tea lights. Those are excellent candles. Not only do they provide, you can put quite a few out, so it gives that ambience in the room, but they also go out within about 30 minutes to an hour. So it's pretty quick. Okay, so that is candles. And if you have any other methods of using candles in spirituality, please drop that in the conversation. I'd love to hear about it. And the next on the list is, when you think of Harry Potter, when you think of tools, what do you think of? So the wand is a actual tool in the craft, and it is again a means of focusing energy. And what I mean by that is, when you hold the wand, your energy is flowing through your arm, through your hand, into the wand, and like a funnel, it's going all the way down to the tip and directly out. And if you're working, like for example, in the banishing rite of the pentagram and Wicca and witchcraft, you can draw the pentagram with the wand while you're focusing your energy. When you're casting a circle, what that means is creating a sacred space outside of time, outside of the realm of our current residing energy. You can use the wand to cast that circle around. And it's basically, again, it's simply a method of funneling energy, and with that intention that you're setting. So, Langaria Leviosa. But this wand, and I did want to speak on that there's many types of wands. And you're like, what do you mean? It's a piece of wood. Yes. So there are wands that are made out of clay. There's wands that are made out of glass. There's wands that emit electricity, but that's a different topic. And this wand in particular, I picked up off. I was on a walk in Multnomah Falls, and a few years back there was a fire there, unfortunately. And I found this stick close to an area that, was on fire. And so as you can see this tip, I didn't burn this. This was actually from that fire. And so a common belief is where the wand is found, where it is, it acquires that energy, that which this of course is earth, wood, but also fire energy. So it's a fire wand. And then some, pieces of wood like this can be found in streams. So it has that water energy kind of embedded in it. But that is it's not believed by all, but in this sense, it is part of mine. And so that is the wand. Now the wand, again, I keep saying that you can, draw with it using your intention energy, but also it's great for sending, if you're wanting to send messages. You can, really project it out there with your intention. So another tool that's very similar to a wand, and this is a smaller version. And this is a staff. Now this is a miniature version of a staff. And I found this at a place in Eugene, Emerald County, and it was outside of Fairy Worlds, which was this event that they had every year a while back. And as you can see, it's interestingly shaped, and I've put on it, as you can see here, some runes using a wood burner to burn those in there and to give it like extra intention and purpose. And same thing with the wand. You can use it to focus energy. You can use it to opening doors, cutting doors. Same with a wand, pretty much, just much larger. And often people will have one, it's like similar as a walking stick. It can be used as a walking stick if you're going on a long hike and doing a ritual somewhere far in the forest and you need that extra push. And I've seen, staffs that have crystals on it, like, Lord of the Rings, Gandalf, or, so there's many types out there, but this is the staff. Now, another tool used in the craft is the athame. And you're wondering, what's the athame? That sounds cool. Well, it's the dirk, it's the dagger. And some are ornate, like this one right here. And similar to the wand, it is used to, cast circles, cut doors, open doors. It can be used to, many will use these in invoking or evoking deities. They'll draw the sigil in the air with this tool and then call out the name, light the flame, and proceed with the rites. And other dirks are daggers, are smaller ones like this one, and you can find these very inexpensive. So this one I found, I remember it was at the Magic Cauldron in Houston, and I believe I only paid like $10 or $8 for this. But it was completely plain with wood, and then I took a wood burner, and as you can see, I burned Theban writing into it, and it has my spiritual name in there. and I like it small because, one, it's very easy to pack, take with you places, less conspicuous, and also it's great for working with herbs. So the dirk dagger is a great tool and was used, decades, centuries ago, not just for the craft, but also working with plants, because you use it to, cut the herbs to put them in, a mixture like modern day medicine, creating healing concoctions, herbs, and things like that nature. Now, another tool similar to the two you just saw is a sword. And this is, as you can see, a Tizona del Cid. It came from Spain. My brother, years ago, acquired this, brought it back, and it's similar to the dirk, the dagger, similar to the wand. It's used to cut doors and create space, and used often in important rites like Beltane, or in the Wiccan traditions it's Beltane, Samhain, and other special rites. They would use the sword in that rite, and it's ceremonial and its effect, and again gives that theatrics that helps with visualization. And so next I'm gonna go to, so another tool in the occult is oils, essential oils. And this one is Lilith's Yule blend. Basically, it's a concoction of cinnamon, pine, patchouli, and dragon's blood. It's a beautiful blend. But many of the working with spirits, working with deities, working with divine aspects, they'll have these connections to the scents and herbs, plants. And so having oils that are created to further connect you to that current of energy that is out there, or in a spiritual rite to evoke, call them into the space, having this is a great tool. And there's so many blends of oils, plants out there. You can use it as cologne, use it as a perfume. So it has multi-purpose. And so I'm going to share a secret. So this is a 10 milliliter roller ball dropper. You can get these on Amazon. So it's the concoction to honor the oils, to honor the concoction. It's 30 drops of essential oil per 10 milliliter dropper. So 30 drops of oil to the rest, the base. And the base, I believe the cheapest oil out there that doesn't really have a scent is grapeseed oil. So all you need is 30 drops of some kind of oil that you like. Mix it with the grapeseed oil, shake it around. You got yourself a scent that's beautiful. So that's out there, and it's not that expensive. I mean, some of the oils can get up, in price, and you want ones that are cold compressed, not ones that are chemically manufactured, because those can do damage to the skin. You don't want that. Okay, So, moving along, the next tool I have a bell. So the bell, there's multiple purposes. Some people use the bell as a cleansing of the space. Excuse me. And then some people use the bell after they do an evocation or invocation to kind of like a doorbell, sending that signal up that, hey, I'm calling, and this is kind of like an added to it. And some people, or some groups, traditions, will use bells in choir. That's their song. So in chants, you can use the bell for that as well. So many methods of the bell, and they make other bells too. Like they've had these string of bells that were very ethereal. Now another tool that is very helpful and is the snuffer. This one is made out of clay, or actually it's metal, but it's a great tool. I've had a few and it fell apart, so I got this one. It's heavy duty, but the snuffer is great because when there are many traditions that believe you should not blow out the candle, because your energy that you're putting from blowing it out will take away the intention. So the idea is having a snuffer going straight on it, sealing out the air. It'll retain that intention in the candle. So if you wanted to use a specific candle for multiple times with that same intention, you can do that. Like for example, this one is dedicated to a certain rite that's done twice a year, and so each time I'll light it for that purpose. So, and then I'll use this to put it out to retain that energy in it. That is one example. Another is if this gets way down here and you don't want to blow it out, then you can go down there and get it. So safety first, right? Okay, so that is the snuffer. And another helpful tool that goes along with different element air is the incense holder. So this is I got this online. It's one of those that you put the cone on and it goes in reverse, and it's pretty cool. But they have other ones like wood boxes that you can put incense in, and the incense is important because it represents air. It represents a fragrance that's associated with the intention that you're setting. If you're calling or evoking a deity, or then you'll want a specific scent that's similar or that attracts that deity. And of course, safety, it holds it so it doesn't set your place on fire, which you don't want that to happen. Okay, so another tool that I have that I've only seen used a few times, and I'm including it because I have used it a few times, and this is a lamp. And a lamp can signify many things. For a visualization tool, it can symbolize, a torch. It because if you don't have a physical torch that has flames coming out, a lamp is equative to it. And so using the lamp, going through the darkness and coming out into the light, having that as a tool of intention is a great, not only visualization, but a focus. Moving along. So another tool, which in Wicca you'll often see, the candle, you'll see the athame, and then you'll see the chalice. So the chalice is a multi-purpose. One, if your ritual rite or contains a purpose for liquid, such as wine as a sacrament, or non-alcoholic. It can be like grape juice. It can be beer, depending on the festival. If it's a fall or summer festival, sometimes they'll have beer from the barley and the wheat, that's reaped. But also, the chalice, like such as in Wicca, represents the goddess, the womb. And then the dirk, the dagger, represents the masculine, the god. And so in rites such as the mock rite, the great rite in Wicca, they will use the chalice and the dirk in a rite of saying that when they come together, they bring ecstasy and creation, which is true. When people come together in a rite of their own, it creates and it raises energy. And so the mock great rite is symbolic of that rite, as well as by doing so, you're raising that energy into the space, the circle. And then you, with your intention, you focus that energy outward into the intention or inward, depending on the rite you're doing. And so the chalice, again, has multiple purposes. It represents the divine as well as something to drink from. Okay, and then moving along. So if you are not able to get to a campfire, or if you're not able to get to a place where you can have some kind of fire source, and your rite requires that type of energy, they do sell these devices on Amazon that you can have a smokeless indoor fire. And it's basically a cup like this inside of a metal pot. And what you'll put is a specific type of alcohol in here that burns. And you only put about an inch worth in here. And you use one of those long, I don't know if I have one here, one of those long lighters that have the stick to them, and then the flame gets pretty much way up here. I mean, it really comes up. And these are great too, because if it's winter, you can't go out and it's raining, you can have s'mores, you can do all sorts of stuff with these. But they are really great for magical rites. And I don't recommend ever burning anything in there other than the alcohol. Like, don't throw your papers in there. Don't do stuff like that, because that would cause that would be no good. So, but other things similar to this, which is like a cauldron, which they do sell. Mine fell apart, but it's like a metal bowl that has a lid, and you can burn stuff, throw it in there, and put the lid on to seal the smoke. Then take it outside and waft it. So things like that, that's a great tool as well. And moving along, another tool that is used is the talismans, amulets, necklaces. And like this one is dedicated to Hecate. It is her maze, which represents the many things to many people. To me, it represents the underworld, her torch guiding through it, the unconscious, the going through the gnosis, the mind. And then this one is a labradorite, which they call them dragon eyes, but it's hard to see. If I had daylight through here, you'd see it, but it's a labradorite. And stones have many different properties that are spiritual in nature. So, you know, and also you can put your energy into them, charge them, cleanse them using salt water, fire, moonlight. There's many different ways to cleanse. So these are great tools. Now another tool that I've used quite often recently is, and you might have seen them on my store site, and they're sigils. And this one is a sigil dedicated to Hecate. And this is, as you can see, is a, I don't have it here. So it's basically this canvas board, and using paint, I painted the sigil on it, and then blessed it with energy, and use it as a focal point, because the sigils are the keys. Sigils are keys to currents of energy, and when you put your energy into it, it opens, it gets access to those keys. It opens those doors to that current, that energy, the gnosis. That is often used in ceremonial magic as well as witchcraft, and not so much in Wicca that I saw. This is more ceremonial magic that sigils are used. Now, tools, everything else, you know, can be used in ceremonial magic as well, but sigils primarily ceremonial. What else? So one other tool that I think every, you know, Wicca and witch that works with herbs should have, that is your mortal and pestle. That's great for grinding up oils. Well, no, not oils. Let me step back. Grinding up herbs. Also, I mean, I would have a separate one for oils, and I would get, for the oils, I would get a, like, they do sell the ones that are porcelain, or the ones that are really hard but don't have, like, porous. And the reason for that is oils can be poisonous to ingesting, like orally. So if you're mixing herbs that you ingest with like salt and oils that would together, that's a bad combo. Okay, and what I mean by using oils in there is that you can take rock salt or sea salt, put it in a mortar and pestle, and then put oil that you want to anoint yourself with, or cleanse yourself with, and then put that together and then grind it all up to really fine powder. And then you would, before a rite in Wicca, often you would do a ritual shower. And one of the greatest ways is with that sea salt mixed with an oil. So when you do a cleanse with it, it's a salt scrub, so it's good for your skin, and it also leaves that oil behind on your skin, so you smell good. So it adds to the ambience. So that's one excellent way to use old oils that you haven't used in a while. You can always mix it with the salt and use it as a cleanse. So this is part 1 of the tools in the occult. This is very generic. You can find these at all spiritual shops. You can find them online, Amazon. They're great tools, but I love, there was a movie several decades ago, and some of you most know it, it's Willow. And at the very beginning, the wise elder in the small village asked Willow, which finger has all the power in the universe? And they went through about 5 people, and they're like, this one. And the guy shakes his head. And they all went to Willow, and Willow was about to pull his hand back, and the guy's eyes widened, and then he said, this one. And the guy shook his head. And what he was trying to get from them was that it's not just one finger, it's you. The will to change your own life, the will to change your future, all the power in your own personal universe, your personal world, your personal perspectives, your lives is in your hands. You have that ability to make choices. Now, granted, we might be born with genetic challenges, such as we might not be able to walk, talk, eat food, do certain things, which is makes things harder. But how we look at the world and how we utilize what we can utilize is in our hands. And it doesn't need, you don't really need tools to do all that. You don't need these tools to do all those rituals and rites. But they focus, they channel that, or they create a focal point for that energy to go, and they add value, and they give good visualization, and visualization, focus, intention that's needed. And having the knowledge, the will, the desire to create is the secret to moving forward and creating action. So with that said, I hope you've enjoyed this video. If you want to hear more of what I'm doing, hit like, subscribe, but certainly stay tuned. Part 3 will be coming out soon.